to our first Feel Good workout of 2025. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on YouTube, this will be saved for you with over 500 workouts that me and my amazing mother-in-law and my mum have been providing since the beginning of the pandemic. Today, it's just me. I will be showing you seated and standing exercises. This is for all ages, all abilities, going through my Feel Good fitness prescription, as in my book, The Feel Good Fix, which is currently on a big discount on Amazon. So do check it out. It is, I think, £13.13. 13 is my lucky number. That's the date I'm born, instead of $18.99. And it's available in all good bookshops as well. It's the perfect gift of health to see you through this year. So we're going to get started. I have an amazing Zoom community as well. So if you would like to join us on Zoom, just sign up to my free newsletter on my website, feelgoodwithlavina.com, and we will send you all the details and a special WhatsApp group where I communicate session reminders and the Zoom link. So let's get started. So in my book, there's a Feel Good Mentally section, which is so important. And we're going to just take a moment, take a seat. We're going to do a nice breath snack, something that's going to calm the body and the mind. It can sometimes be quite stressful to get here, to set up technology for myself. Sometimes we're just leading such fast-paced lives that I want you to have this in your toolkit. And it takes 1 minute to reset your nervous system and tune into your breath. There's a couple of techniques in the book, all with instructions, really simple things that you can do to calm the body and mind. So today we're going to just close our eyes. You can place your hands on your lap. Just take a comfortable position. You can then start tuning into your breath. I talk about the science behind everything I show in my book as well. Try and breathe in through your nose. So nasal breathing has incredible benefits for your health. You can breathe out through your nose or your mouth. Sometimes we need to let out that big sigh. Just let everything go, releasing tension. Just tuning in first, so that will help you slow down your breath. You could even place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly to really try and encourage that breath in, expanding the chest, the lungs, and then the belly, really breathing in deeply, and a lovely long exhale. So try and keep that going. And I'm just going to talk you through a little body scan, which is a great thing you could do even before bed, just to calm the mind or anytime you're feeling anxious or stressed. So we're breathing in and we're just focusing on our head, our forehead, our face, just breathing in and out and relaxing all the muscles. Sometimes we hold tension in our jaw, just maybe releasing the jaw and letting the chin drop, releasing any frown lines in your forehead, breathing in and out, and then focusing the attention around your neck area, your shoulders. Again, common place to carry stress. So releasing the shoulders, sometimes even breathing in, lifting the shoulders up, and breathing out, just dropping them like a little shrug down the spine to release any tension. Then breathing in, we're focusing on our arms and our upper body, really expanding the lungs with positive breaths, exhaling, releasing any tension, negativity, and then focusing on your belly. So really breathing in. You can feel that expansion if you've got your hand on your belly and maybe one hand on your heart. Breathing in, breathing out in your own lovely slow pace, focusing on that breath, centering the body and mind. Then releasing the hip area, the lower back, any areas in your back that may have tension, which is so common. Just sending positive breath in and out, and even our hips, especially when we're sitting too long, they can carry a lot of our stress of our lives. So just sending a nice positive breath towards your hips, your glutes, and your upper legs. now, focusing on those muscles around the thighs, around your knees. Just sending breath to all your amazing body parts, then towards the lower limbs, towards your calves, your ankles. Take a lovely breath in and out for that area, releasing any tension. And then focusing on your feet, maybe just wiggling your toes as you breathe in, maybe lifting your heels up and then breathing out, bringing the heels down, grounding the body, ready for our workout today. A lovely little body scan you can do anytime. Now, hopefully, most of the body feels like it's had a nice, relaxing breath, focusing towards it. We're then just going to rub our hands, keeping our eyes closed, generate some heat, especially if you're in the UK where it's -1 or -2 at the moment. And then placing those warmer hands over your closed eyes, keeping those eyes closed. Take a positive inhale, opening your eyes slowly, letting in the light a little bit through those fingertips, bringing a smile to your beautiful faces. On your next exhale, or whenever you're ready, you can release the hands away. And I want you to just check in with yourself. How do you feel? That was just a couple of minutes, a really easy body scan. Give me some thumbs up on YouTube and Zoom if you feel a little bit better, a little bit calmer. So now I hope you're ready to start the workout. All ages, all abilities, no fancy equipment. I have tin cans. You could use a pair of old tights instead of a resistance band, or if you have weights, obviously keep them near you. We're going to start with mobility, the most important part before we start our workout. We're going to start just warming up the body with a few head circles, just rotating that head maybe 3 times in one direction and then changing direction. I'm going to show you everything seated and standing. As my mother-in-law is currently traveling, I'm going to try and do everything she usually does with me, but we have hundreds saved for you that you can play on YouTube anytime. So circling out the head, which feels really good. We're then going to add those shrugs that I mentioned in the body scan, where you lift your shoulders up towards your ears, breathing in, and then exhale. Just drop them away, seated or standing. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale, just releasing any tension. Lovely to see all of you on Zoom and on YouTube. Inhale and exhale. Then we're going to do my desk snacks, the little reset, which is in my book. Really simple ways that, 1 minute snacks like this desk reset snack with the QR codes to the videos in the book. But here we're going to imagine that desk shape. So we're often in this kyphosis of the spine, sitting, using phones, using our laptops. We're going to just remember this snack. So you're going to lift your shoulders up towards your ears, back an inch or 2, and then drop them down the spine. So that lovely desk shape, I want you to think of that through the day. This snack takes seconds. Little exercise snacks you can sprinkle in through your day anytime. It just fixes your posture, hopefully makes you taller, a little prouder, more confident, and something that will help engage your stomach muscles. So through the workout, think about it, just let go of all your stomach, let it out, and then breathing, trying to squeeze them in towards your belly button, towards your spine. Can you feel that difference? You can practice that contraction even in bed, and that muscle group can then start working with us through this workout as well. We're going to add in some arm circles. If you're seated or standing, you could even add a little march so we can start getting our steps in. We've got to keep warm in the UK because it is very cold weather. Hopefully this workout will really help you feel good. Things you can do from home, even on the sofa, sprinkling in just this movement. Let's change direction. So if I was sitting, watching TV, working from home, and I was feeling tight or I haven't moved, I want you to think about moving every hour at least. Ideally every 30 minutes, the science shows. I've written about it in my book. It's really good for helping control blood sugars. For even type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetes is so common and on the rise. So sprinkle in these snacks. They're going to keep your blood sugars nice and stable, and more than anything, we're going to add movement into our sedentary lives. We're now going to do a little point and flex. I would say stay seated, but if you can balance, make sure you've got something to support you so you do not fall over. We're going to point the fingers and the toe, one toe away, and then we're going to bring our hands into a fist, and we're going to bring that toe towards you. So I'll show you from the side. I'm pointing away, and then I'm bringing it in. You could add a little bicep curl here with your fingers. So we're going to point and then bring those fingers in like a little curl fist shape, pointing and flexing. You should be doing this seated, so I'll show you seated because I don't want anyone falling over. This whole workout is to reduce risks of falls. We're going to add in our balance snack, which is part of the Feel Good Fitness prescription, but seated is probably easier for most of you. Inhale, exhale. This is such a simple one. You could do any time, right? Watching TV. Can you feel those muscles working just by lifting this leg and bringing that circulation? Sometimes we get joint pain. We want to get the blood flow to the body. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful work. We're actually going to add in a little bit of yoga today to our mobility flows. So we're going to start with a nice forward fold. You could do this seated, maybe just sitting down, bringing your head down, letting that blood flow to the brain. If you're standing, you'll know it from this position where I'm just standing. If you can stand, please stand up. If you're not able to stand, then do it seated. We're then going to engage that belly button towards the spine as we slowly unroll the vertebra one by one, coming up to standing, then taking a positive inhale, arms come up above the head. We're going to take a nice exhale as we do another 2 of those, just so you get used to this lovely flow. So we're coming down, the blood will rush to your brain a little bit. Take deep breaths, then hold the core in, slowly unraveling the spine. Take your time, breathing out, then breathing in when you're ready, taking that positive inhale. I'll show you seated. It's just a nice little flow. Sometimes we're tight, but we're just warming up the body, warming up the joints, that synovial fluid around the joints, lubricating those joints that will help with things like osteopenia, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, a little bit of mobility and circulation. And then similarly, we're going to do the sunflower, which I know a lot of you regulars love. And so does my mum, who is on Zoom. Hi, Kamacha, lovely to see you. So we are going to put our hands on opposite elbows. I'll show you seated. We're coming down to that forward fold, but then we're going to roll up one side, extending like a beautiful sunflower in the sun, and then coming down the other side. This is so great for your spine, for your mobility, for your back health. I'm going to show you standing, because obviously if you can stand, please get up, because this is a really lovely one that you can do, and you'll feel that length across your legs, your back. Really breathing in, use that breath that we were talking about at the beginning throughout all these exercises. That helps really make sure that you're fueling your muscles and body with oxygen, and also it's going to help you feel lovely and calm for the mental health benefits of exercise. We're then going to do a little cat-cow. So you could do this seated. So we're going to place our hands. If you're seated, you're going to round the back, and then you're going to try and extend the shoulders back, so we're opening out the chest. So we're rounding and opening. Lovely. Rounding out the back, so almost if you're standing like you're hugging a tree, and then maybe placing your hands in the middle of your back to open out your chest. So we're doing one more, maybe rounding out. Let's hug that imaginary tree in front of you. and opening out. And then we are going to add in our balanced snack. So if you're able to stand, I'll show you another option in case you're not able to stand, because I want this workout to be accessible to all. We've had up to the age of 100 join me from a care home as well, where I would love to get all my workouts in every care home. If you're not able to stand, I want you to do a simple leg extension. If you're able to stand, we're going to do our 10-second balance snack. Unfortunately, it's quite morbid, but this is a great test of mortality backed by a study. If you're not able to balance for 10 seconds, you're twice as likely to have a premature death in the next decade. I don't want to scare you because I know this is for all ages, this workout, but it's just something to keep in mind. And we want to reduce our risks of falls, right? Especially as we age. It also helps correct muscular imbalances. Balance work, great for runners. So teach it young to your grandchildren, your children, your friends, your uncles, your aunts, your parents. If you're not able to stand, strengthening using that seated leg extension is going to really help strengthen your leg muscles. If you're standing, we're just going to go for 10 seconds, and you know there's targets in my book based on your age and gender. For me, in my 40s, I think it's 43 seconds I've got to try and do with my eyes open, and about 13 seconds with my eyes closed as a challenge, and that is hard. So let's start off with 10 seconds. Hold your support. If you need it, you could hold on or you could try without, but always have it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, do what you can. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. If you feel like it, do share. Let me know, especially in YouTube, on the comments, did you manage it? 10 seconds is a lovely little way to just start. We're then going to go on the other side, yeah? You can use your core to keep you stable, that belly button engagement towards the spine. Focus on a point. Let's go when you're ready. If anyone wanted to do the tree pose of yoga to continue our yoga little snack, that's an advancement. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Well done. Did you manage to do it? If you didn't, 10 seconds is your target, your goal. And even if you're seated, leg extensions is great. Any movement is better than none. To tie in with our balance, we're going to just add in one other exercise. We're going to go by the wall, ideally, just so you've got support. You're going to imagine you're on a tightrope. So I will show you another seated exercise you could do instead. But I'm placing my heel in front of the toe. I'm going to have my arms out to the side. And I'm carefully, like I'm in a circus on a tightrope. You could turn around or you could try and go backwards. Again, that toe and heel are in line with each other. Yep, so we're going to do a little bit of tightrope walking, which is great. If you had a little rope in the garden, you could actually try and follow it with your feet. It's really good exercise, not just for your balance, but also for your foot strength. You could try this barefoot. Keep that wall near you, because I don't want you to feel too wobbly. If you're seated, just some lovely forward and back movement as far as you can go, or even some heel raises. So just working the calf muscles. This is your seated option. Up and down, maybe adding in a hold. The calf muscles are brilliant for our blood sugar control. Yeah, you know, this is one of my little hacks, and I mention it in the book as well. If after a meal you can't get up to do your move after meals, which is one of my biggest recommendations, maybe go for a little walk, stair snacking if you can't. And when I'm in restaurants, I do heel raises. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of tightrope walking. And then we're going to add in some hip work today. So we're going to do our hip openers. Again, if you're able to stand, please get up. We're going to do some gate openers, and I'll show you a seated option. Have your support there. We're going to lift one leg up. We're going to keep our waist nice and forward, so the movement's just coming out of your ball and socket joint in the hip as you open the gate. Then bring that foot either down or hover it, touch it down or hover, back up, and then closing the gate. Now, what I want you to do is try and stay as stable as you can. Fixed position. So it's really coming out of that ball and socket joint, yeah? So you're isolating the movement. The hips get really tight, especially when we're sitting for too long. We carry our stress in our hips as well. So we're going to do about 3 or 4 on one side, and then we're going to try the other. And can you feel the difference? I can feel already that hip feels a little bit looser, yeah? So you could practice this anytime. The seated option is the same. You're going to try and lift it up, opening out and down. Again, I can really feel that. My inner thighs, my groin, my hip, but I want that ball and socket joint to get mobility, yeah? When we're in the seated position, these seats make our hips stiff. That can lead on to back pain, hip pain. It can lead on to lots of issues later in life. So we want to keep our hips nice and mobile, and there is a full hip snack in the book with QR codes to lots of other little exercises that are really simple to do that are going to help your hips. Let's keep those hips happy. So when you're done, we're going to grab a nice band or a belt or a pair of old tights, as I always promoted in the pandemic. Tights are great, just something with a bit of resistance and stretch ideally. But if you've got a belt, that's fine as well. And we're going to start with Lavina's famous shoulder floss. I love this exercise. It's got its own exercise snack in my book. We're trying to keep the arms symmetrical. I would encourage you to do it in front of the mirror. I'm going nice and smooth because I practice this, but a lot of people are slightly lopsided, or they can't get it all the way up and over with straight arms. So you just do what you can, yeah? If you're seated, I want you to just try and do these up and over like my lovely mum does on her sofa. And I'm just having a quick look on Zoom. Gosh, you guys are looking great. I am loving this because you are literally, some of you are using, I think it is Varsha is using a lovely Indian scarf, and I can see some of you using your resistance bands, breathing in and out. Can you feel a little bit of a burning sensation? Obviously, if it's hard, loosen up. If you need more challenge, tighten up. So hold it closer together. If you need to stop and start, please stop and start. Just do a couple more for me. This is using resistance training. We are starting to work our muscles, and muscles are the key for our longevity. Strength training for so many reasons that I've outlined in my book, and I will talk about a few of them as we go through the workout. Lovely work. Give it a little shake. So that little burning sensation was the lactic acid. Anytime I'm talking now, I want you to add in your steps if you want to, yeah? This is your workout, so you push yourself, or you take it as gentle as you want. You can get your steps in from indoors, even seated. Just movement is what I want you to build into your life. Little bits of movement, yeah? Small little bits through the day. I hope that's part of your New Year's goals, is just to keep moving. Sprinkling them in is as effective, if not more effective, than the long workout we sometimes can't fit into our lives. We're then going to do some lovely openers. So if you've got a lovely stretchy band or a pair of tights, opening crossbody, then arms in front in that front raise, breathing out, really opening. This is a lovely one to do in the mornings when you're just trying to wake the muscles up, ready for your day. If you haven't got anything stretchy, you could even just use your arms. Coming forward, opening out, seated or standing. Everything I'm showing you has options. So I want you to feel, if you're after injury perhaps, if you're feeling hormonal, even menopausal, and you just don't fancy a really high intensity workout, these exercises are perfect for you in today's workout. We are then going to add in our lovely working our lats. So we're going to bring the hands up. You could use 2 tin cans if you don't have a band here. One arm is going to stay fixed by your ear. Relax your shoulders. And then the other elbow is going to come down the side, squeezing the back muscles, using that resistance and coming up. Let's do the same side for 5 times. Breathing out and in. So here, these are your lats. Yeah, I want you to focus on this. Think about that mind to muscle connection, which again has science backing it up. All explained very easily in layman's terms in my book. Everything is backed by science, yep. So I did 40 pages of research from my book of studies that are showing how effective exercise. We've also got the mental health snacks and the lifestyle snacks in the book that will really help you hopefully just feel good. Let's change sides. So if you're seated, again, you can do this anytime. This is a great one for anyone sitting at their desk, maybe working from home, any students that are stuck at their desks. Show your loved ones, because this is a great one. We hear about back pain, so we're strengthening those areas. And relax. Okay, how are you feeling? Hopefully a bit warmer, but we're going to just add in a 1 minute little cardio, little bit of HIIT, but that doesn't mean that you have to jump. This workout, we don't actually do the jumps. We're going to do star jumps. You can do them seated. As you know, that my mother-in-law loves demonstrating, or you can start standing, but I want you to give yourself a clap. So we're going to really rotate those arms by giving that clap. It's the full rotation. You could do double leg or single leg. If you're able to stand, please get up. So everyone rise if you're able to stand, and let's try and do them. You could go faster. So this is without the jump, but we're going to go for about a minute, and you can stop and start, but I want you to feel your heart rate slightly increasing. Your breathing will get faster. Let's test your stamina. This could be your little baseline, this workout at the beginning of the year. If you haven't done much, this is a great exercise to do when the kettle is boiling, or when the vegetables are cooking, or something's in the oven in the kitchen. Tie it onto your existing habits. So just like the balance work, I say when you're brushing your teeth, little star jumps. I'm getting my heart rate up. How are you guys feeling? Give yourselves a clap. Let's go for 10 more seconds. Fast or slow? 9, 8, count down with me. 7, I wish I could hear you all, but I'm pretending I am. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No jump, star jumps. But listen, I am out of breath and my heart rate has gone up. How do you feel out of 10? Give me a quick score on YouTube or on Zoom. 0 is you're in bed doing nothing, and 10 is, Lavina, I'm totally out of breath. I can see my mum on Zoom has said 7. YouTube, let me know. Andrew's a 7. Taruna Auntie's an 8. Marian's a 7. Some of you are still marching. Lovely. Vaisha, you are an 8. Lots of you there. I can see lots of you. Well done. So wherever you are, star jumps are a great one to boost your mood. Doesn't your mood feel great now? I feel energized. I feel more productive, right? So just build these into your life. We're going into strength training now. You are going to take it easy if you haven't worked out in a while, or if you have, I'm going to show you progressions. We're going to start with our press-ups. So if you're able to, please go to a wall. That's where we always start. I started my strength training journey with press-ups against the wall. Obviously, if you know how to do floor press-ups, please do them carefully. Everything's explained in my book with the QR codes to videos. I will also show you a seated option, but by the wall, hands are around your shoulder height. You can keep them nice and wide to begin with. Body is a straight line as it comes towards the wall. Inhaling, bending the elbows. Exhaling, pushing away. We are building upper body strength here, but we're also using our core, working our backs. If you're seated, you could just work, think about all those muscles in your upper body as you place your hands on your thighs and push away. Again, bending, inhale and exhale. The progression from the wall is probably your table or your kitchen counter is the perfect place to do press-ups. Slight elevation, and then the floor ones are outlined in my book. Today's workout is to keep this as accessible as possible. Do about 10 to 12 where maybe the last 3 are starting to feel challenging, and really focus on those upper body muscles. Inhale, exhale. If you're by the wall, to progress, you could move your feet slightly further away, and that is also still maintaining that straight line from your head down to your heels as you're not bending, yeah? You are trying to move that body like a traveling plank towards and away. When you're done, circle out your wrists, and you can march out or you could take a little break. I'm giving you the option to stop here and just take a few breaths, or if you're ready, you just add in your steps, because we can get our steps in from anywhere, right? We're then going to move into our second upper body strength exercise. We're going to grab some weights. So think about what you can use for a bicep curl and a shoulder press. So we're both functional movements that are going to help us stay as independent as possible for as long as possible. So with the bicep curl, I'm going to show you standing, but you can do this seated. I've done my desk reset snack. My body's nice and straight. My core muscles are engaged. My elbows are going to stay glued to the side of my body. And whenever you hold any weight, try and keep your wrist nice and straight to your forearm, so you're not bending at the wrist, yeah? Obviously, you start off nice and light. Tin cans are perfect for this. Exhaling and inhaling. So on the hard part of the move, you breathe out and you breathe in as you release. Seated or standing, we're going to go for about 10. I've got my tin cans right there. That is your cue. Maybe when you're in the kitchen to do your bicep curls, just adding this in. And the more muscle mass you have, the more it's going to help if you are looking to lose a bit of weight. Even though I say exercise for sanity, not vanity, it's important to maintain a healthy weight to reduce our risks of so many chronic illnesses. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn, even at rest. The more insulin sensitive your body is staying. So even during perimenopause and menopause, right now for me, it's important that I have muscle mass. And after the age of 30, we start losing it. Through menopause, it's even accelerated. And there's studies in my book for people, anyone, all ages, even over the age of 60s, 70s, 80s, you will benefit from strength training, trust me. Have we done 10? I normally have mummy counting for me. Around 10 to 12 reps. With then, you could take a little breather, or you could go straight into your shoulder press, seated or standing. But if you can stand, it's always better to stand. You're going to lift up over your head, breathing out nice and symmetrical, and then back towards your ears. I'm not dropping all the way down. I'm staying here. So there's a bit of tension still on those muscles. Breathing out and in. You could practice this in front of a mirror. I could see lots of you on Zoom, which is great. So I could see your form. Lots of you have been regulars for years, and you are nice and symmetrical. So well done. Using free weights, you can see that both sides of your body is working really nicely and symmetrical, especially someone like Taruna Auntie. I hate to point you out, who had a fall, a fracture on her side, one side, and I can see now your shoulder press is so lovely and even. Even if it's body weight or tin cans, You are working your muscles, building strength. Super work. One more. Can you feel that? And relax. Have a little break. This is your baseline. As you play back this workout, which is saved, I want you to think about the weights you're using. Did you feel those in the last few repetitions? If you didn't, that means you can progressively overload. You can increase your weight gradually over time when you are ready. Yep. So think about the weights you're using. Come back to this workout, maybe increase your weight when you're ready. You're going to use one weight now, and a little bottle is perfect for this. A little plastic bottle if you haven't got a dumbbell. I'll show you with the dumbbell or the bottle, whichever one you're using. We're going to work the triceps. So you could do this seated or standing. I'm going to carefully hold one end of the bottle or the weight. I'm cupping my hands around it. I hope you can see me carefully. And then I'm going to carefully bring it up and over behind my head. Now we're probably all in this position, seated or standing. I want you to try and bring your elbows towards your ears. So bring them in. And if you're here rounded, I want you to try and straighten up. So that it's quite hard to get your elbows towards your ears, your body nice and straight, so that they're not arching forward and they're staying close to your ears. You're going to try and extend that weight up, breathing out, inhale, coming slowly down. We are working those bingo wings, those arms, yeah? So just focus your mind on the muscles that you're working when you're doing strength training. It does help with your results. It's proven by science. Breathe out. Some of the research, the studies I've mentioned in my writing is all around these techniques. You could go nice and slow. If the weight feels light, you just go slow. Relax your shoulders. Obviously have a break when you need to. We're going for about 10 repetitions. Breathing out and in. If this doesn't work for you, you could do the bicep curls and the shoulder press. Any exercise. One more, I think it is. Slowly, carefully bring that weight down. Did you feel that? I could feel that in my upper body. You did the compound move press-ups. Then we've done 3 extra exercises. So just shake it off. Have a little moment. Have a little dance. Have a little shake off. Have a little bit of a tap maybe. Like a little bit of tapping snack, which I've got in my book. Just anything just to shake things out. Have a little shake. That's so nice sometimes just to release tension. We're moving into our lower body now. So you know squats, sit and stands as I call them, especially is the cue. Anytime you're sitting too long, I would love you to throw in some stands, some squats. You can start if you know what you're doing. You've done my workouts before. If you don't, I'm going to talk you through all the different levels. So if you're not able to stand, again, we're going back to the amazing leg extension. You could add a hold. As you lift the leg up, I want you to think about your quadriceps here. These are your muscles around your knees that are going to help strengthen the knees. So when you're watching TV, if you can't stand or if you're working from home on screen, you can do these under the desk. Yep, leg extensions. Otherwise, next level is with your chair. For those that need a bit of support, feet are just over shoulder width. Please start your squats if you know. Some of you on Zoom are already sitting and standing, so well done. You can hold onto your chair and just lift a few inches. Your knees are always going out in the same direction as your toes. They don't come in towards each other. And I want you to check you can see your toes so that your knees are staying back. That's a little lift to target the muscles. The main sit and stand is being able to stand up independently if you're able without any support, and slowly coming down. You breathe out, you squeeze your glutes, you hold your stomach muscles in. This works so many important parts of the body, not just building up leg strength, but it's even working our abdominals. It is such an amazing move. We're just doing body weight to start. Some of you have been doing quite a few. Exhaling and inhaling. I want you to relax for a second because some of you on Zoom started early. So you've probably done maybe 10 to 20 sit and stands or squats. Obviously, if you're progressing, I do squats. I'll just show you one with a weight. I do them without the chair, but I love the chair because that's just a nice little reminder that I'm going down, I'm touching, and I'm squeezing up, yeah? Adding weight is the next round. If you're able to, you could put a bit of weight, like a rucksack on your back, or you could just grab a nice little weight. If you want to do a second round, just body weight today, stick to your body weight. But squats are the king of lower body exercises. So, are we ready to do about 10 again? All your leg extensions, you could hold a weight, hold out for a few seconds, and just hold that weight as much as you can. Let's try and do 10 more. So when you're ready, I want you to start again. So squeezing up, maybe holding a weight here. And think about time under tension. Don't rush going down. That negative, eccentric part of the movement is just as important. And this is great for our brains. I always talk about keeping our brains fit, reducing risks of things like dementia and Alzheimer's, because this is encouraging blood flow to the brain. So as we go against and with gravity, this is such an important brain snack. And I've got a whole section on brain health, brain nibbles, other things you can do in the book. Let's go for 3, breathing out and in. Let's go for last 2. Can you feel this? Some of you have done quite a few today. And 1. Last one. And relax. Super work. How do you feel? Can you feel it in your legs? So give it a little shake out. Maybe give it a few little circles, a few heel raises, whatever feels good. A little kick if you want, a little shake out. We're going to do a little bit of step work. Ideally, if you've got a pair of old tights or if you've got your resistance band, we're going to just add in the second exercise for our lower body. We're going to tie the resistance band or your tights above your knees. Don't worry if you haven't got a band. You can still mimic this without the band. So I'm going to tie it above the knees and I can adjust that if it doesn't feel good, or I can even take it off. Now, seated or standing, if you're standing, always have your support, your wall or your fixed object. I want you to try and go into a slight bend if you're standing. So like your squat, but checking I can see my toes. So I'm coming down into a little bit of a squat, and then I'm going to step out and in. You can hold on to your chair if you need to. Out and in on one side. This is quite challenging. If obviously the lower you go into the squat, the harder it is. Yep. You could do this seated though. Much easier option is to do this seated, stepping out and in. You're still going to feel it in your inner and outer thighs, but you're obviously not going to put as much load as you would if you were in a squat position. So see what works for you. 10, around 10 on each side. I can feel that. Out and in. Well done. I can see Varsha who's doing another option, which is stepping out and in. Just make sure you can see your toes. Make sure your back's nice and straight. Just see what works for you. This is quite a hard exercise. Even without the band, you could probably feel this. Out and in, or if you're seated, let's do the other side. Just have a little play with which exercise you prefer with this band. But this is really targeting those legs again. And after the squats, it's just going to add a little bit extra. Coming out and in, let's do a few more, whether you're seated or standing. Standing is quite hard. Tapping out and in, especially if you've got that resistance. And relax. Well done. Let me know if you like that one. Did you feel it? Give me a little thumbs up or a little bit of an indication. If you hated it, be honest. thumbs down. You don't have to enjoy everything I show you. I want you to pick and mix from exercises that you enjoy. It's all about what you enjoy. That's the only way you're going to sustain movement in your life. That's why the book is not like a typical book. You can just open it up. Full body mobility snack. It gives you the whole thing, big font, really easy to read, all the benefit and the video, the QR code. If you don't like that one, you have over 80 different snacks to choose from. It's a very flexible snacking approach, and that's how I want this workout. If you don't like an exercise, you just pick something that you can do. Any movement is better than nothing. Last little challenge now before we go into our stretch. We're going to add some high knees in. So we are going to bring that knee, especially if you're standing, it's a bit of balance work. So have your support or your wall. If you're seated, you're going to bring that knee up towards your chest, and you're going to think about your stomach muscles here. So these lower abdominals, that hard to reach area, which actually I've written about, especially during menopause and the weight gain that is so common, why biologically our bodies accumulate fat around that stomach area. Our bodies are amazing. We have to embrace them and just think, let's stay as happy and healthy as we can, right, for our long-term health. So we're lifting our knees. We could add in the arms. You could even add some dumbbells or some, I would say, tin cans here if you wanted a little more of a challenge. We're going to just go for 20 seconds, but this is your finisher. So go as fast or as slow. If you're able to stand, please stand up. This is your last exercise. So we're going, counting down. We'll count down from 10, 9, 8. Go as fast as slow as possible. 7, 6, 5, 4. Are you counting with me? 3, 2, and 1. Yay. Give yourselves a massive clap. We have done a lot. My heart rate is quite high as well, and it's so important to stretch. This is the key bit. I do not want anyone skipping the stretch at the end. We're going to reduce our risk of injuries. We're going to lengthen out the muscles. We're going to bring our heart rate back down to normal. So let's go with a nice stretch for our legs now. To start off with, one leg out in front of you. Flex your toes towards you. Reach up, take a positive inhale. Lovely work. Well done, everyone. You've got to be so proud of yourselves. Exhale, coming forwards, maybe aiming for your toes, but don't worry if you don't touch them. Just place your hands on your leg, your shins, your upper thigh, bringing your chest towards the thigh. You should be able to feel in that straight leg, a lovely stretch going all the way down. Take a few deep breaths. You can hear my heart rate is high. So positive inhales, lovely long exhales like we did at the start. But this is so important to even reduce that soreness. You might feel the DOMS, the delayed onset muscle, that soreness that you feel when we haven't maybe worked out in a while. Do some more stretching. There's lots of stretch snacks in my book, on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel. Breathing in, exhale. There's actually a nice 31-day snacks ebook that I've developed this month that you could use anytime. It doesn't even have to be 31 days in a row. It's just 31 different snacks, including stretch ones, with follow-along videos that you just press, and that's on my Instagram. So if anyone wants that, it's also on my website, actually, on the home page. You just click it and I will send that straight to you for free. And slowly up. Lovely work. We're going to do our lovely feel-good hugs, almost like those lovely cat-cows that we did, but opening out. You need to give yourself some self-love, self-care. Opening out, big breath in. Exhale now, round the back, almost like a C shape as you hug yourself. Give yourselves a big hug. Bit of feel-good hugs here that I developed in the pandemic when we couldn't hug each other. But it's so important to give yourself some self-love, self-care. I wish I could hug you all, so I'm going to give you all a big virtual hug, but it's a nice one to release your back as well. Lovely work. We have done a lot today, so we're going to stretch out our shoulders, seated or standing. One arm out in front of you, other hand up just above or below the elbow. You're going to draw that straight arm in towards your body and look over the shoulder. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. If you're seated, hopefully you can feel a lovely stretch around the upper back and shoulders. Deep breaths just to bring that heart rate down. Holding stretches ideally for 15 to 30 seconds. That's where it gets really lovely and deep, and you can increase your flexibility gradually over time. I was never flexible myself, but I love stretching now. I try and do a stretch every night before bed just to help my sleep and relax. We're going to do last one, just seated, just for our glutes. We've done quite a few different exercises. If you can, place one foot over the opposite knee. If that's difficult, you could just hug the leg in and circle out the ankle. But if you can, we're going to just put one foot on the opposite knee, and we're just going to encourage that bent knee slightly, maybe pushing out to open out the hips. You'll feel it in your glutes. You could even come forward into it to really deepen that stretch. Breathing in. I know it can be hard, so try and send your breath to any areas that feel tense or tight. I promise if you practice stretching, it will really help your flexibility, even your performance in the strength exercises. So even when you're watching TV, this is a great one to practice, yeah? Or when you're sitting too long, just adding in a little exercise snack, a stretch snack as I call it. Other side, seeing how you feel progressing. If that doesn't feel right, you have this option, hugging the knee and sitting nice and tall. Just circle out the ankle maybe at the same time. And then we have our feel good finish, seated or standing. I'll show you standing, but if you can't stand, stay seated. A lovely positive inhale. Lifting the arms up, filling yourself with positivity. You have done something amazing for yourself. Exhale, bringing the arms down, releasing any tension, anxiety, stress. Hopefully you feel good, feeling better than when you started. Breathing in that positivity. This time, hands meet at the top. Capture that positivity. Bring it down to your amazing heart center. Please say something positive to yourself. If you hold on there, close your eyes for 1 second. I am going to read out just one of my affirmation snacks here. If I can find it, I'm just going to say to yourself, here we go, page 277. There's a list of these. I'm going to just pick in this one. I accept and love myself thoroughly and completely. Can you say that to yourself? I accept and love myself thoroughly and completely. I hope that gives you a little bit of positivity for your day. You are all amazing for joining me. Give yourselves a clap. My mother-in-law and I have translated workouts in our Gujarati, which is our mother tongue. If that can help anyone in the South Asian communities, which you know I'm passionate about, with high risks of heart disease and diabetes. I'm an ambassador for Diabetes UK, Alzheimer's Society, Wellbeing of Women, and a patron of Menopause Mandate. So I want to try and help as many people as I possibly can. So please share these workouts with your friends, your loved ones. There's lots more on my YouTube channel. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment to let me know how you get on. And if you'd like to join me on Zoom, next Friday at 10 o'clock, there's a free newsletter on my website with all the details. Just sign up to that. And I will talk to my Zoom community now and say goodbye to YouTube. But well done, everyone. Just let me know if you feel good. I'm so proud of you all. Saying bye to YouTube. Yay. Well done, everyone. Oh, someone